Yeah, all right. So we're good to go. Um, so please let me just confirm again. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. So basically, this class is going to be short and straight to the point, so that we can all go and rest. Me myself, I've had a long day. So just a brief recap. We've seen a couple of things since we started. Day one, we saw we talked about mindsets. We talked about how you can turn hard things into what we call base instincts. Okay, we talked about the role that discipline and motivation have to play in business generally, and then all of that. Then also day two, we
Okay,
talked.
your voice is faint.
What did you say?
Your voice is so low. I can't hear you. Not like the network is bad, but your voice is
I
faint.
think it's your network. Please, can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I think it's your network, Bridget. I think it's your network, Bridget.
Uh-uh.
Sorry about that.
Excuse me. Please, can goodness put his camera off, please? Okay.
Yes, please, goodness, turn off your camera. Good news, sorry. Yeah, all right, great. So, um, yeah, day two, we talked about market research and how you can, the equation to wealth that the big boys out there, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, and every other person, what they use to, generate wealth and what you can use to generate wealth in any market. Talked about market research. We also talked about product research. In day three, we now talked about lead magnets, the most unsuspecting way to sell to anybody. And then we talked about offer creation briefly. All right. So, and yesterday we talked about traffic, how you can get traffic. We said that there are two types of traffic, the paid and then the free traffic. The paid invariably that you have to pay with money, but the free you have to pay with your and effort. So, but we'll focus more on organic traffic. When I say organic traffic, I'm talking about free traffic. Okay. So we talked about how you can generate traffic from Facebook and Twitter, Facebook groups, and then from Twitter. So today we're going to be looking at something really, really very important. And here's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to look at, yesterday we just talked about how you can generate traffic. I didn't really tell you the exact things to post. So today we're going to look at the actual thing, to post in generating leads. And I'm going to be giving you some templates, okay? I'm going to be telling you the actual thing you can post in those groups, okay, and in the comment sections um, of tweets, sorry. All right, please just give me a minute. All right, so yeah, okay, sorry about that. So we're going to look at the actual thing you can post in generating leads with templates. Also, we're going to look at what to do when prospects or people raise their hands as interested in your offer. Okay, what exactly are you supposed to do? And also, we're going to look at how to nurture your leads. We said that a lead is someone who is interested in your stuff. Okay, we're going to look at how to nurture your leads, and we're going to look at how to close a sale. So this is what we're going to look at today. All right. Yesterday we just talked about the idea and what you should do to generate traffic. But now I want to tell you the actual thing to post when you want to generate leads. Okay. Now, all right, this is it. And I said that there is actually just one thing to write about every time you want to generate leads. All right. There's actually just one thing to write about. But the question you need to ask yourself is, what is the ultimate goal? What is the goal? And I'll tell you that I believe you should know that already. The goal is to sell your offer. I can't sound this, enough. I wish it was simpler than that. Okay, just write about your offer. Okay, and uh, actually, what I was trying to say, I wish it was as simple as I just said it when I said, oh, the ultimate goal is to sell your offer. So people think when I talk about selling your offer, you just want to write about your offer, and then that's that. You start making money. It doesn't really work that way. Okay, and you will fail if you always do that. Because the truth about the matter is that as humans, we don't like to be sold to, but we don't have any problem with buying. We buy every day, every single day. All right. So what we want to do, we want to write about the thing we are offering or whatever we are selling in a strategic way. In a strategic way. All right. And I'm going to show you some examples shortly. But you want to write about the thing you are selling in a very strategic way. So what you do is that you're going to make your content, whatever you are posting, you're going to make it less salesy. When I mean less salesy, I simply means you don't want to sound as though you are begging people to buy your stuff or to collect your stuff. You want to come from the point of value. You want to give value, make it less salesy. Okay, you want to talk about how your products and services help your target audience. You want to provide value for free by giving free advice, okay, free tips, free recommendations, just like you do to a good friend. And this is important because you're not just there to sell anything. I really want you to have their interest in mind. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and you really want to be interested in helping them rather than just selling rubbish or selling. So you want to really offer free advice, free tips, free recommendations, and you have to do this regardless or irrespective of if they buy from you or not. I hope no one is trying to join. Okay, so you want to start with your ultimate goal, and then you want to go backward, walk backward from your ultimate goal, starting from what exactly you want to offer. You walk backward, branching out with relevant topics, and then creating helpful and valuable content on these topics. That is just as simple as that. Okay, and this is very important. Ensure that you write about things that topics that your target audience are interested in. I mean, you are in a particular niche, all right. So it's very important you stick with your theme or stick with your tribe, all right. And let's just see what they have in the next slide. So I said, for example, if you are a digital marketer and what you do is that you help businesses, all right, get more customers, and your content, what you could do is that you could give away something, maybe just a tip, give away tips or suggestions about mistakes to avoid if they decide to do it on their own. What you do as a digital marketer is that you help businesses generate, get more traffic, get more leads and all of that. So in your content, you want to give tips on how you do these things. Just tips. You're not giving full information. Just tips, that they can consume, that they can read, and they can, that helpful tips that they can, that will show them lessons or mistakes to avoid if they decide to do it themselves. And the truth about the matter is, if they are really interested and if they are really serious about taking their productivity to the next level, then they will eventually seek your help. It's as simple as that. All right, it's as simple as that. But I know that what I'm saying now will really sound like jargon to you. So what I did is that I created, not like I created it, but there's a less complicated formula that you can use. So I said, but to make this less complicated, there is a formula that you can always apply, and I call it the leads generation content formula. Can you still hear me? Please let me know if you are still following me. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right, great. Let's just write them. So I call this the leads generation content formula, and it is built on 4 different things. It's called AIDA. All right, copywriters use this a lot, so just applying that same thing to your lead generation. So the A stands for attention, I stands for interest, D stands for desire, and A, the other A, stands for action. Okay, now let's start with A. A for attention. All right, what you do is that this is the most important part of, or one of the most important parts of your content. Okay, and the truth about the matter is, when people open the comment section or people open your posts on social media, that means that they have decided to see what you have to say about a particular post. They have decided to hear your opinion, all right, about what you think about your topic. So the truth about the matter is that the next thing you need to do is that you have only about 2 seconds to grab their attention, okay, before they realize that, oh, this was a mistake, I shouldn't be here. No. All right, you really want to grab their attention in doing so. And the way you do this is with your opening line, or what we call your lead in. Okay? You want to grab attention with your first line. That means your first line in your comment section must be very powerful. Okay? It must be very, very powerful. I can't sound this enough. But the truth about the matter is, once they are hooked up, okay, once they start reading your stuff and they are hooked up, when they read the opening line, they want to read the next line. They want to read the second line. They want to read the third line, and then the fourth line. And before you know it, they've read to the end of your content. I think someone's trying to join. Okay, so yeah, once they read your opening line, okay, your opening statement, they will want to read the second one, they want to read the third line, and then the fourth, and then they will eventually read till the end. It works like magic. Okay, and there is a way you can go about this without having to rack your brain or whatever. So there's a format. There are 7 ways you can start. There are 7 ways you can start your content, or whatever you want to comment on people's comment section, or whatever you have to say about a particular niche that will really grab attention. So the first is, you want to start with a question. We're going to look at this individually, so just stay with me. You can start with a question. You can start with a contrast. You can start with the benefits. You can start with a one-liner. You can start with curiosity. You can start with a recent big event that everyone knows about. And then you can start with shocking or an uncommon advice. So I'm just going to look at it one by one, and I'll show you some examples along the line. Okay, great. So let's start. So let's start with questions. How can you start with questions? Now the thing is, normally when presented with questions, the human mind, okay, the human mind can't help but search for answers from within the memory. That's how it works. Once you read a question, normally you want to know the answer, okay, from your mind. And if you find a match, okay, so when you start with a question, the idea is, when you start with a question, your prospects will automatically want to give an answer to that question. And then if they are able to find an answer, the person will want to read to confirm if his or her answer is right. Okay? That's the idea. And if there's no match, if the person can't find an answer, the person will still also read to further discover the answer. Either ways, the person is bound to read further. That is just the idea. It's as simple as that. So there are several questions you can come up with. I mean, these are just few ones. But there are several questions you can start with. You can start to say, oh, do you know why most people fail to do something? Probably, do you know why most people fail to make money? It's as simple as that. All right. You can also say something like, do you make this mistake? Then you say the mistake. Okay. The person who say, do you make this mistake? The fellow will be like, oh, what mistake? The fellow will want to read the next line. Okay. Number 3, you can say, what is the number 1 thing your mama taught you or teaches you about treating people? Okay. You can also say something like, saying subscribing to my newsletter is very bad. Do you know why? Okay, these are the ways you can start. Now, this is not, I don't mean you have to copy this, but this is just like to give you an idea. You can always come up with something. You can just copy this template and tweak it. All right. Now, let's go to the second thing. The second thing is contrast. Now, the idea about contrast is to use or to cause dissonance inside the brain of people and then to make them to think. More like, oh, what exactly is this guy trying to say? This doesn't make sense. All right, you want to use contrast. You want to make things that you want to say things that don't make sense initially, and then if fellow will be like, oh, wait a second, this doesn't even make sense at all. So when you do that, what happens is that they have no choice but to know more because they really want to understand what exactly you are trying to say. So here are some examples. You can say, oh, yesterday I managed to upsell an angry customer to a higher plan. Or you can say, oh, yesterday I managed to sell, a high ticket product to an angry customer. It's as simple as that. When someone is angry, the person does not want to buy from you. So when you are saying that you're able to sell something to an angry customer, people will want to be interested in what you are talking about. You get the idea. Number two, you can say something like, this humble and down-to-earth person bought Ferrari. Okay, just something as simple as that. Or you can say, oh, this Lagos boy built a mansion in 2 years of starting maybe affiliate marketing or something. They want to find out, oh, how manage. So let's go to the next one, benefits. Okay, now, how does this work? You really want to immediately tell your readers what they are going to get if they read your content. Everybody's interested in what is in for me. What do I get? What do I stand to get when I read this stuff? So you want to, immediately tell your reader. You can start with immediately telling your reader, what to say. I mean, what you have to offer, sorry. So you can say something like, oh, if you want to speak confidently on stage, keep reading this and I will show you how in this email. All right? Something like that. Or in this content. Or in this post. Number two, you can say something like, if you want to ace your next job interview, all right, and have, your HR begging you to take the job, below I have 3 weird but effective tips nobody knows about, all right? So they will keep reading to find out. The next thing is one-liner, and this is very straightforward. This is basically a quick one-liner that invokes curiosity, all right? You can start with saying something like, oh, I guess you are right. If you see something like, I guess you are right, you want to know what exactly this fellow think, you are right about. Number two, you can say, don't you just hate it? They'll be like, hate what? Okay? So they will be forced to read. If you say something like, oh, we've been lied to for years, fellow will be like, oh, really? What exactly have we been lied to about? Something like that. Okay? So that's that one-liner. Also, you can the next one is curiosity. Just like one-liner, but the thing here is you want to invoke curiosity and keep people in suspense so that they want to know more. Just like that one-liner anyway. You can say something like, the other day, I was walking down the street alone at night. That's creates curiosity and suspense. You can say something like, back in my corporate days, blah, 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 blah. They want to read. You can say something like, I didn't know it was possible until... they want to read what you are saying. Another thing is a recent big event. Permit the typo error that was trying to make this slide as fast as possible. So a recent big event everyone knows about. So remember that time that both Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were shut down for like 7 hours. Your comments can start with, oh, this is the dark truth behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp 7-hour outage. Right? You can also say something like Donald Trump just lost. Actually, copy this particular one from a particular material. So yeah, say Donald Trump just lost the presidential election. Then number 3, you can say something like Facebook copied another feature again probably from Twitter. People really want to be interested in what you're talking about. You can always tweak this, but I'm just trying to give you some examples. All right. The truth about the matter, how this works is that people already know big events happening around them. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to capitalize on what is happening, okay, and then what is still hot, and then you want to talk about it. For example, elections are coming now, so you can talk about something like that, and then that you can start by saying by applying this formula to your content. Lastly, you want to talk about something that is shocking or an uncommon advice. Okay. Now, what you want to do, what this does is that you want to evoke a feeling of no way. Like, how does this even make sense? Like, why would you even tell me to do such a thing? So you can say something like, "That's why we shouldn't impress our bosses at work." Wow. Or you can start by saying something like, "I'd prefer if we all just get infested with coronavirus." Fellow will be like, "Why would you even say such a thing?" Okay, so they want to read more. You can also say something like, "You should sell in every post." Now, this is for like digital marketers or content creators that say, "Oh, you don't have to sell in every post. Ensure you give value. You don't have to sell." So you can start by saying something like, "You should sell in every post." They'll be like, "Oh, wow. Why are you trying to say something like that?" So all in all, that's how it works. Okay, that's how it works. So that's like some formula or the formula with some templates that you can tweak. That's about the opening line. Remember, we're still talking about the AIDA formula. So in grabbing attention, you grab attention back with your opening line or your lead in. And I'm just giving you different ways in which you can do that with different examples and different formats. It's as simple as that. Now I want to go to the next thing, which is interest. Okay. Now the truth about the matter is, once you've gotten their attention with your opening line or with your first line, the next thing you want to do is to hook them in with a very short story. I should have put "very" here. With a very short story, more like a 3-line to 4-line story. Okay. Or you might say, "Oh, well, I'm not a good storyteller. I've never even told a story before. What should I do?" What should I do? What you should do is that you shouldn't worry. Okay? I always got you. Yeah, I always do. So you shouldn't worry. So I have something here for you. Here are 10 things that you can write about. Okay, so when you want to make a comment, when you read a comment and then you want to place your comment, when you've seen a post and then you want to place a comment under that post, or you're in a Facebook group and then you want to comment on a particular subject matter, you want to start with a very, very powerful opening statement or a lead-in, and then you want to hook them in with a story. And if you are always, the truth about the matter is sometimes your creativity juice, are all flowing, and then you are good at telling stories, but other times you are stuck, and then you really don't know what to say. So when that happens, here are things that you can talk about. You can talk about a hard decision you had to make. Okay? You can also talk about something that was really embarrassing. You can also talk about something that helped you recently. You can also talk about something you are angry about. You can also talk about something you hate extremely. You can also talk about something you love or something you bought. Okay, you can talk about the contrarian point of view. You can talk about an experience you have about something you bought, probably a customer review or your buying experience. You can also talk about something you read in a book, a magazine, a tweet, or a post. Okay, these are 10 things you can talk about. So when you're thinking about what to say, just think along these lines, and you definitely have something that you can talk about. Well, because I'm feeling generous today, I'm here to give you another 10. Here's another 10 things you can talk about. You can talk about something you heard from someone, or a radio, or a podcast, or a conversation. You can also talk about an event from the news. All right? You can also talk about a good or bad experience about something. You can also talk about a personal matter from family, friends, relatives, colleagues, or peers. You can also rant. It's good. It's okay to rant when you are trying to generate leads. It's okay to rant, because when you rant, you are basically saying what people want to say, but you are just saying it before them. It's as simple as that. So you also want to talk about something good or bad about your field. Okay, something good or bad about your field. If you are into forex trading, for example, you can say, "Oh, forex is actually lucrative. But the thing about it is that you need a lot of time of practice. I mean, this happened to me 2 years ago when I was trying to learn Forex. I lost a lot of money, but thankfully I came up, I met so and so, or I stumbled on a post on Facebook, and then that taught me a very interesting strategy. And now I'm telling you that I'm living the life of my dreams with this simple strategy. You see, I came about this story, just simple. Number 7, you can also talk about something good or bad happening now or recently. You can also talk about a misconception about your field. You can also talk about your products, a feature about your product, an update on announcements, or just an opinion about something. Just keep it simple, okay? Let me confirm. Can you still hear me? Are you still following what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Any other person?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Let's go on. So, I also have something for you. Here is another 10 things you can talk about. Why am I doing this? To show you that there are actually a lot of things you can talk about. So you don't have to get stuck. Anytime you feel you are getting stuck, just come back to this class, okay? And then just choose one. It's as simple as that. How many have I given you? I've given you 20. And here's another 10, making it 30. So there are like 30 different things you can talk about. You can talk about us versus them in your field. You can talk about a lesson you learned. You can also talk about a fun idea. You can talk about something hilarious that made you laugh. You can also talk about your process. Probably, I'm 2 years in digital marketing space, and I've been working hard day and night, grinding, hustling 5 days in a week, 24 hours in a day. And I really didn't start making money until blah, 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 blah. Right. That's how you do it. So you want to break down your process into about 3 to 5 steps, use the bullet points, and just make it, give value, and then be natural. Ensure you're not boring. Okay? Don't talk like a PhD holder. Be natural. Use slangs that people are familiar with. Also, you want to talk about something that made you really anxious or jittery. You can also talk about something that made you feel afraid. Okay? You can also talk about a big milestone or achievements that you made. You can also give testimonials from your customers, case studies, reviews. You can also talk about a customer of yours that was not happy with you, and then how he was scolding you and every other thing. Okay? Now, last one. Here's the last one. I've given you a lot. Let me end here. So you can also talk about, I already talked about this, an unhappy customer bad-mouthing you. You can talk about an experience about working with good and bad customers. You can talk about a tip or tactic about your field of work. You can also talk about how you got started in this field. Just be natural, okay? Just be natural. Remember, you really don't want to say come and buy. People don't like to be sold to, but we don't have a problem with buying. That's the truth. But if you say come and buy, there's just this resistance. They will not click. They will not want to have anything to do with you. When you come up with a powerful opening statement, you hook them on with a story. They are sucked into your content, and then when you are just natural, they will feel you that this guy is just trying to air his view. This guy is just trying to help us, see something. This guy is just trying to air his opinion. Okay, so you can also talk about a course you have taken. I mean, the list is endless actually. So that is about the interest part. Okay, the next thing is your desire. Desire. Now, having started with attention, you grabbed attention, you suck them in with your story. You also want to talk about what you actually have to offer them. That is his desire. All right? Or you can call it offer. Your desire / offer. So now this, don't simply just from this, the how many things I give you now? 30 plus 5. That's 35 things I gave you. Don't just pick one. Don't just choose an idea and then simply write about it aimlessly. That's not what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, you always want to tie the idea or story to your offer or your product or your services or your lead magnets. In case you don't know what a lead magnet is, please go back to day 3 where we talked about lead magnets and offer creation. So it's not just about writing stories, okay? Having written your stories, you always want to tie it with or tie it to your idea, your story. Always want to tie your idea or story to your offer, your product, your services, and your lead magnets. Okay, it's not just about writing about a story. You want to, at the end of the day, you want to tie it to how you intend to help them. All right. Then lastly, you want to the last 8 means action. Actually, it's called call to action. Okay, but the truth about the matter is everybody wants to be led. You can't just come up with the opening statement or a leading that's very powerful and then get them sucked in with your story and then tell them how you think you can help them and then leave it like that. If you leave it like that, people will just read you and say, oh, this guy is making sense, and then just move on with their lives. So what you want to do is that you want to add a call to action. You want to tell people what to do in order to get what you have to offer them. It's as simple as that. We call it a call to action, a CTA. But as much as possible, ensure that you don't make it salesy. Okay? Don't say things like, come and buy, or I don't know whether come and buy, so it's coming to my mind. Or click here now to get it right now. No, don't do something like that. When you say something like that, people will know that you're trying to sell something to them. Okay? So ensure that it's not really, make it less salesy. Now, how do you do that? I have a couple of examples for you. You can say something like, I haven't said, giving your powerful opening statement, you've hooked them, sucked them in with your story, you've given your offer, which is your desire, their desire, sorry. You can say something like, oh, you can just let me know if you're interested and I will hook you up with it. Okay? You can say something like, just send me a DM if you're interested, I'll give you the full information. This way, you are trying to, it appears, which is actually the truth anyway, that you want to help them. Okay? And also, what you can do is you can leave it open-ended and just leave them to make the decision. They will have to make that decision to come to your DM. Okay, you can even say something like, oh, this is actually true. Maybe you come up with a powerful, let me just try to craft one for you. Let's just see, let me just try to give you a practical example so we can see how it works. So from attention, okay, let's say I want to use a question, this question tactics to grab attention. I can say, okay, let's say I want to go with number 2. Okay, that is, okay, let's say I want to go number 1. This first one says, do you know why most people fail at or fail to blah, 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 blah? Okay, that's the attention. Let's go to the other one, which is the interest. Let's say I want, okay, I didn't give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say I want to give you a story about myself. So I haven't said something like, okay, I'm going to come up with a story anyway. So the next thing is that you now want to give your offer, all right, which is the thing that they desire, and then at the end of the day, you want to close it. So you can say something like, do you know why most people fail to make money in their, or do you know why most people fail to make a lot of money from their businesses? Actually, I didn't know this also until just 3 months ago when I met when I went for a program at VI, and then I met this funny guy called Toyo Motor Shop, and that also presented in that program. Okay, I mean his speech was actually lame, but he I don't know, I'm really finding it hard to come up with something. Okay, let's start again. Let me make it simpler because your content needs to be short and straight to the point. You can say something like, okay, so do you know why most people fail to make money in their businesses? It's simply because they are not generating a lot of traffic. And then I also didn't know this 3 months ago. I had the best offer, I had worked on my offer, had given a powerful guarantee, but I still wasn't making sales. And then I was wondering what was happening until just 3 months ago, and I stumbled on a post on Facebook that talked about traffic, how to generate traffic for free without spending a dime on money. And then I clicked it, and then I saw 3 tips that I've applied now, and now I'm happy I'm able to sell at least one of my products every day. And at the end of the month, I bag maybe just about 300K, monthly. You can say something like, I know that's small money, but at least it's better than nothing. If you're interested in something like that, just let me know and I'll give you the full info, or I'll give you the link to the post that helped me with that tip. It's as simple as that. So I know that was not like the best of examples, but that's how you put everything together at the end of the day. Please, are you still following me, or am I wasting my speed?
Yes, I'm following. I'm following.
We're here.
All right. Great. All right, so let's go on. Like I said, it's going to be a short class, so we're beginning to round off now. So what do you do to your leads? Remember we said your leads are those who are interested in your products. So having dropped your content, people are not sending you DMs. People are not saying, oh, I'm interested. People are not saying, oh, how? Probably you must have seen that on Facebook a whole lot. People are not saying, how? I'm interested. Please. Some people will barge into your DM. So what do you do to your leads? If it's on Facebook, for example, and they probably they've indicated interest, you've sent them a Facebook request, they've accepted your Facebook request. All right, you want to send you're not in their DM, or probably they came to your DM themselves. What you want to do at the end of the day is you want to take them to WhatsApp. Always take them to WhatsApp. Always take them to WhatsApp. Okay? And I'll tell you why shortly. If it's on Twitter, probably you made a comment on a post and people are interested, they will barge into your DM directly. Those guys don't even have time. They will just barge into your DM like, please, I need the link, or I need the video, or I need the ebook. Okay? So what you want to do is that you want to take them to WhatsApp. Why? Because see, people spend time on WhatsApp than any other social media platform. It's as simple as that. So you really want, remember, you want to go to where they hang out. You want to go to where they are most comfortable in. Okay? So always take them to WhatsApp. And like I mentioned, yesterday, if you are the kind of person that you're not comfortable using your personal WhatsApp for this, then create a business line. Okay? And download WhatsApp for business. Because you're going to be using WhatsApp a whole lot. People spend time on WhatsApp better than any other app. Okay? Also, WhatsApp is a place where you have access to someone's phone number. You can see I think someone's trying to join this call. All right. So WhatsApp is a place where you have access to their personal phone number. You can see their DP or their DM. Sorry, their DP. You can see their status. All right. So it breaks the barrier of, oh, this guy is trying to scam me, or I don't know this guy. Remember we said that people only buy from those whom they know, they like, and they trust. So a very good way to establish that KLT factor is by taking them to WhatsApp. That way they can easily call your phone number, they can easily chat you up, they can easily see your WhatsApp status and know that, okay, this guy is not a robot, it's actually a real human being. And then what else? Basically, that's why you should take them to WhatsApp. Yeah. So now, there are templates to do this. When people come to your Twitter DM, for example, you want to say something like, maybe they came to your DM and say like, oh, please, can you send me the link to or can you give me the free ebook you spoke about in that comment section? You'll be like, oh, okay, no wahala. Remember, you don't want to chat like a robot. So you don't want to say like, oh, good morning, sir. You don't want to say things like, good morning, sir. Thank you for messaging. I mean, don't do that. You can say something like, okay, no wahala. But it's not something I can explain here. Can we go to WhatsApp? Okay? Person will be like, sure, why not? Then you give them a WhatsApp link. They will send you a message on WhatsApp. It's as simple as that. You can also say something like, you can deliberately probably delay your response and say something like, sorry for the late reply. I respond to messages faster on WhatsApp. Can we chat there instead? All right? So you take them to your WhatsApp. So the whole idea is you don't want to chat like a robot. Okay? You want to be, I really don't want to, you're helping people, quite all right, but you don't want to make it obvious that you want to sell something to them at the end of the day. So they're interested in your lead magnets. So immediately they raise their hands as interested in your stuff. What you want to take them to WhatsApp, okay? and like just give you some templates here. There are a lot of ways you can do this. I use this a whole lot. I use the second one a whole lot. Sorry for the late reply. I respond to messages faster on WhatsApp. Can we chat there instead? Like person will be like, oh, why not? And I will drop my WhatsApp link. Or immediately just drop my WhatsApp link. The person will chat me up on WhatsApp and say, oh, hi, I'm Bolu from Twitter. I'll say, okay, great. So when they get to your WhatsApp, what next? Now, you want to save each other's contacts. Okay? So you'll be like, oh, when the person gets your WhatsApp, say, oh, I'm Bolu from Twitter. You ask me to chat you up on WhatsApp. Say, oh, okay, hi, welcome, Bolu. My name is Progress. All right? I say something like, oh, you could save my number. I usually share helpful tips just like the one I'm about to give you on my WhatsApp status. All right? So you can save my number so that you can be able to view them from time to time. So the person will save your number, and then you save his or her number as well. Now, do you know why? Do you know why? It's simple. It's simple. What we're going to do next is that once you're giving them your lead magnets, okay, you've given them what they actually want. But the truth about the matter is you don't just want them to take your lead magnets and then just go away like that. You want to nurture them. You want to always be there to give them more information, just like the one you just given them. And then you want to position yourself as someone who is willing to help them anytime they need help, whatever you're giving them or within that niche. Okay, and a very good way to do this is with WhatsApp. Why WhatsApp? Because once they save your number and you save their number, you can view each other's status. So that's why you have to use your WhatsApp status to nurture your leads. What did I have here? I said, okay, so when you save their number, the next thing is to give them your lead magnets. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, you don't just want to give people your lead magnets and leave them to go like that. Okay, you want to ensure that you are still communicating with them. You've given them, remember we said your lead magnet is your first transaction with your prospect, with your prospective customer. Of course, they're not paying you any money for it, but that is the first exchange of value that you are giving out. So you don't just want them to take it like that and forget about you. No. So if it's a video, if it's a free video you just give them, you can say something like, okay, just go through this video and let me know if you have any question when you are done. Okay? You can also say something like, okay, here is the video, or here it is. When you are done, let me know. I will tell you something that was not explained in the video that you can apply right away. Okay? That means when you do this, the fellow will be like, oh, okay, let me quickly watch this video. This guy has told me that there's something that is not even explained in the video that he's going to tell me that I can use to start up right away. So what do? When they watch the video, they come back to you right away. Oh, I'm done watching the video. Okay, or I've gone through the content. It was really educative. Thank you for that. Okay, so what you want to do, you now want to take the conversation up from there. Okay, and what we're going to look at that later. Now, the next thing, like I said, is that you want to nurture your leads. Now, how do you nurture your leads? You basically nurture your leads with your WhatsApp status. Are you still following, guys?
Yes.
Are you learning something?
Very well, I'm learning, but I have questions. That will be later.
Yeah, you ask your question. Who else is learning? Or who else is following?
I'm following. We are learning. I'm learning.
You have to speak for yourself. It's good. Okay, let's go on. So you nurture your leads. How do you do it? You do it via WhatsApp status, through your WhatsApp status. Now what you do here is that, remember, let me take you back to day 2. We said that you want to, is it day 2 and day 3? Remember that there are only 3% of people in your niche, in your market, who are ready to buy now. But there's a whooping 97% of the people who are not ready to buy now. They are probably still gathering information, or they don't have money to buy yet, or they're not yet convinced. So what you do is that you give them an offer, your lead magnet. That lead magnet has to be of high value. Now when they go through it, it's going to educate them even more, okay, and help them see that, oh, okay, this is how I should go about this. So what have you done? You're giving them value. You've made them more convinced. The whole idea is that having done that, you also want to push them up the ladder from the 97% where they are to the 3% where they are now ready to buy from you. And how you do that is called nurturing. You want to nurture your leads, and the way you do that is by using your WhatsApp status. So these are types of content you can post. The first one is the credibility building content. So first of all, what does credibility mean? I'm not going to try to waste your time, okay, by giving you one definition from a dictionary, but you can check Google if you like. But invariably, credibility building content is simply any kind of content that will make people believe you or believe what you are selling. Okay, now this kind of content is channeled towards building credibility, by making people believe what you are selling. Okay, now how do you do this? Remember, people will only buy from you when they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Okay, so that's why you are using your status. So what you put on your status should show the kind of things you are interested in. For example, if you like football, or you post your team Arsenal, or the kind of books you like to read, just about basic things about your life to ensure that, okay, I know this guy. This guy is not a robot. He's a real human being. I've seen his face several times on his status. You are breaking down that barrier. Remember, these people don't even know you from anywhere, but you want to nurture them. You want to get them to know you, to like you, and then to trust you. So that first one is credibility building content. You can post things about movies, the kind of movies you like, the kind of movies you are probably watching at the moment, or what you do for a living. Are you a student? Are you a medical doctor? And all of that. You want to put all of that out there. Okay? Now, the second one is interest-triggered content. That means that you want to put testimonials, proofs, transformations. For example, if you're in the weight loss niche and then you have lost probably 15 kg in like 10 days or whatever, maybe it's 30 days, okay, you can show your before and after picture just to show people that, oh, this thing actually works. So if you used to be earning 40K per month before, in your, probably that's the kind of job you were doing, but now as an affiliate marketer or as a sales expert, you now earn 1 million per month. You want to show that that transformation. You want to talk about your personal stories, your experiences. You want to put pictures. Okay, when people see things like, oh, I made so and so in a month, or this was me 2 years ago, this is me now. It's an interest-triggered content. They want to be interested. Oh, if this guy can do it, that means I can do it also. That means if something like this can happen to this fellow, it's something that can also happen to me. I hope you are still following. So you want to put those kind of stuff. Also, you want to put useful and relevant content. Okay? You want to offer value. You want to give tips on your status for free. Tips that will help your prospects, your leads, your prospective customers make well-informed decisions. All right? So, for example, if you are a digital marketer, I don't know I'm using that, probably because that's where I'm tilting towards digital marketing and sales and all of that. So if you're a digital marketer and you help businesses get new customers, okay, you can put tips like, oh, in generating leads or in running Facebook adverts, ensure you don't make so and so mistakes. Number one, your ad creative, your image, your copy, ensure your copy is straight to the point. So just give useful tips like that will help them, that will make them, help them make more well-informed decisions. All right. Also, you want to drop relevant news that will help your prospects. For example, the day that, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, a lot of people did it. So yeah, the day that Twitter, if your business was majorly built on Twitter, or the place where you generate a lot of traffic was from Twitter, and then the government in Nigeria now banned Twitter, okay, In order to help people still stay in business, you can give them helpful tips on how to still use Twitter even with the ban. So you can do something like, oh, why not contact someone probably in the UK that will help you manage your Twitter account, so that way your business does not close down, or you don't run out of sales or leads or something like that. I saw a lot of people also using VPN. I personally did not use it, so but a lot of people use VPN to still access Twitter. So what have you done? You are giving them relevant news and updates that can help them, make well-informed decisions. And also remember, don't be boring. So you also want to be entertaining. Once in a while, I post memes, funny videos, pictures, and things that just you help people understand. Oh, this guy is not just about sales. He's also a very funny guy. You help people understand the kind of things that you find funny. So ensure you do all of that. All right. So that takes us to the next thing. Now, when you do all this right, and then you've given them your lead magnet, you dropped a call to action, so that when they are done with the lead magnet, they come back to you for further information. What you want to do is that you want to close the sale. You want to get them on a call or on a chat that will close the sale. Also, if they're probably not ready to buy, you then go ahead to nurture them with your WhatsApp status. Not just WhatsApp status, you can also do it via one-on-one DM and then just interactions. And then also, I forgot to mention this, since you can see your each other's status, when they upload the status, you can also comment on their status. They probably put something about Arsenal, okay, football. You could be like, oh, has this game started? Or what was the score? Okay? Or please, can you send me this video? What are you doing? You are getting to familiarize yourself with them. You are breaking down, you are establishing that KLT factor. But by the time you start to get a lot of leads, and then you are having a lot of people come to you, you will not even have time to view their status. That's just the truth. But initially, when you are starting, you want to ensure that you do that. Okay. In fact, sometimes you even ask them to meet you from viewing their status. So all in all, so when you are done with that, you want to close the sale. The next thing is to close the sale. Remember, you gave them a lead magnet for free. But at the end of the day, you want to sell them something, all right, that will help them even make more money or achieve their desired results. So now, as a beginner, you cannot do what top affiliates do. What top affiliates do, because they generate a lot of traffic, okay, they don't really care if anyone doesn't buy from them. Like I said, most of them focus on the 3% who are ready to buy now, okay, and they don't really push. But if you are just starting, you have to push. And a very critical way to do this is by getting on a strategy session call with them. You want to book a call. You want to speak with them over the phone, okay? And we'll be looking at that tomorrow. I'm going to teach you tomorrow how you can close a sale on the call. I'm going to teach you the lessons from how there's a way doctors speak to patients when patients just come to them. There's a way doctors relate to patients. There's a way doctors clerk patients. All right? So I'm going to be teaching you how to apply that same strategy as a marketer or as a salesperson, okay, and how you can close the sale. The truth about the matter is, remember we said not everyone will buy from you immediately. But it has been proven that when you get on the call with prospects, you can increase your conversion rate from 1%. Now, let me just mention this. When hypothetically, or what is that the word? It has been proven that if you have 100 people come to you, only about 1 to 2 of them will buy from you. So don't feel bad if you've spoken to just 10 people and nobody has bought from you. It has been proven that for you to land a sale, okay, you have to show your offer to about 100 people. All right, that's the 1% rule. That's why top affiliates or top salespeople out there, they generate a lot of traffic, and then they expect that, oh, even if I can get just one person out of 100 people to buy from me, I'm still in business. I'm still making profits. Okay, so normally the conversion rate is 1%, but I'm here to tell you that If you can master the skill of getting on the phone with your prospects or your leads, you can turn that 1% to a whooping 10 to 20%. That means 10 out of 100 people will buy from you if you can get on the call, get on the phone with them. Okay, so rather than just do what everybody does, just give their offer and hope that one day people will buy from them, you want to take it a step further and you want to get on the phone with them. And I know you probably don't know how to do this yet because you've not done it before. But in tomorrow's class, I'm going to teach you the lessons. I'm going to teach you exactly how to go about it. I'm going to show you lessons from how doctors clerk patients, how doctors communicate with patients, and how you can use that same strategy, that same principle to close sales over the phone. All right. That way, you're not hoping that out of 100 people, one person buy from you, or you're taking that number from 1% to between 10 to 20% at the minimum. So it's a very important strategy. Now, not many people do this, and that's why you have to do this if you want to make any sale. Not many people do this. Most people just drop their stuff out there and hope that people buy from them. Yes, they will make sales. They'll make some sales, right? Like I said, 1 out of every 100 is what we work with. But I'm not telling you that if you can get on the phone with them, you can, increase your conversion rate. But I'm going to be teaching you all of that tomorrow. So ensure that you don't miss it. So as we round off, let us do a brief recap. So we looked at the actual thing to post in generating leads on Facebook groups and then on Twitter. I've told you, I've given you templates. We have also looked at what to do when people raise their hands as interested. Okay. Oh, there's something I wanted to say. How come I missed it? I'll probably talk about it as briefly as before we end. So also, you want to nurture your leads. You want to convert those 97% of people who are not ready to buy now. Okay, you want to push them up the ladder till they are now in the 3% where they can now buy from you. And also, you want to close the sale. So we've looked at this. We've looked at this. We've looked at the lead generation content formula, the AIDA principle. Grab attention with your opening statement. Okay, you hook them up with a story, a relevant story. You give your offer, and then you drop a call to action. So we've looked at this, the different formats in which you can start your content: question, contrast, benefit, one-liner, curiosity, a big event everyone should know about, and then shocking or uncommon advice. And I've given you different templates you can just tweak, okay, and apply. What I'm also thinking of doing is to make this available in PDF so that you can just have it. Actually, I'm thinking about doing all of that. I'm thinking about doing that for all of the classes we've had, so that you can easily go through it. So that every time you want to remember something I said, that you have to go back to the video. So just something I'm thinking about, but I'm not sure when to be ready because I'm doing some other things also. Also, you can do this. So interest, hook them up with a story. Now, these are several things you can write about. Just tweak it. Okay? The story doesn't have to be. Just think about. I'm sure you have some experiences here. Just go through it. At every point you want, just go through it. You'll find something that you can write about. So I gave you a whooping 35 things you can talk about. So ensure you don't slack. Also, you want to drop your offer. Okay? Don't just write stories aimlessly. You want to write the relevant stories. And at the end of the stories or your ideas, you want to tie it to your offer, your product, your services, or your lead magnet. And the last thing is you want to drop a call to action. Most people don't know what to do. You want to tell them what to do. So having read your opening statement, you hook them up with a story, they've seen your offer, you want to tell them what to do next to get it. Okay? So you can say something like, oh, just let me know if you're interested and I'll just hook you up. You say something like, just send me a DM, I'll give you the full information. Or you can just leave it open-ended. If your story, your opening statement, your story, and then your offer is powerful, trust me, they will come to you themselves. You don't have to drop a CTA. Anyway, so what do you do when they now come to you? So there's something I wanted to say. It's called qualifying. You want to qualify your prospects. You want to qualify your leads. Okay, I'll probably talk about this more tomorrow. Yes, I'll talk about this more tomorrow. Where I'll talk about how to close the sale. But the idea about this is you want to ensure that these people who have come to you are really interested in what you're about to give them. So you can say something like, if they come to you and say, oh, I'm actually interested in something, in this stuff. You can be like, are you sure? It's not for everyone. No. I mean, okay, you can say something like, are you sure? This is not for everyone. Because you'll be like, oh, yes, I'm sure. You'll be like, I know what I'm saying. This is not MMMO. Can you dedicate at least 2 hours every day? Person will be like, why not? As long as I'll get results. Okay, so what you are doing is that you are getting them to make what we call micro commitments. You are getting them to say yes to you. Okay? So that's how it works. That's like, I'll just leave it like that. So you want to qualify them. You want to ensure that these guys are actually serious about what I'm talking about. So you want to qualify them. You want them to say yes, like 2 or 3 times to you before you give them your offer. Okay? It works a lot, so ensure you do that to qualify your prospects. Yeah. So we said you take them to WhatsApp. Okay? You can use these templates to take them to WhatsApp. You can just be creative. Okay? Then when they get to WhatsApp, what next? Exchange contacts, exchange details, and then save each other's contacts. And I've told you why. It's because you want to nurture them. You want to nurture your leads via your WhatsApp status. Okay, we said that you don't just give them your lead magnet and say bye-bye. No, you want them to come back to you when they've gone through your lead magnets. Okay, so that you can take it a step from there. If it's something that they're really interested in, then you get on a call with them and then close a sale. You give them your offer and then close the sale. So you want to nurture them with your WhatsApp status. There are different types of content to post. I've given you 5 different things you can post about here. So you can't say that you don't know what to post. Can't say it though. These are different things you can post about. You can also copy me. There's no harm. Copy me. Go online, copy people, follow people who post content, copy their posts. Alright. And having done all of that, the next thing is to close the sale. So tomorrow I'll be teaching you how to get on the phone with prospects, how to close the sale over the phone, okay, and increase your chances of making a sale from 1% to a whooping 10 to 20%, and it works like magic. I'm going to be showing you all of that tomorrow. Then after tomorrow, the day after, we're going to put everything together, okay, bring everything together, and then we'll start implementing it. I will show you. I'll give you a product to sell if you don't have a product already. I'll give you a product to sell, and I will show you how exactly we are going to go about it. From market research to the product research to the lead magnet. I'm going to give you a lead magnet if you want. Okay, I'll give you a lead magnet, so something you can use as a lead magnet. Okay. Also, we'll talk about offer creation. Talk about how to generate traffic from this group. I'm going to tell you how exactly we're going to go about it. And then also how to nurture prospects, and how to close the sale. So at the end, after tomorrow, that's day 7. We'll bring everything together, and then we'll start implementing. So why I actually went through this whole process is to show you, so that you understand why. So that when I start doing things and you start watching me how I do it, you understand why I'm doing it. So that you don't just be copying blindly, but you understand why I'm doing it. So I think that's like that brings us to the end of the class. So task. Like really, do you want to give you any task today? I don't think I should give you any task today because the one I'll be giving from day 1, you've not been submitting it. So I actually wanted to drop a task, but I thought about it and I was like, really? It doesn't make any sense. Just keep giving you a task and then you don't do it. So the task for today is that go back to day 1 up to day 5 or to day 4 and then ensure that you submit your assignment. Do the task. It will help you. For example, yesterday I gave you a task to open a Facebook account if you don't have one and a Twitter account and optimize your profile. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. That's why I started with day 1, how to turn hard things into base instincts. I talked about the trigger, the action, and the reward sequence of how to accomplish any task. So I wasn't just wasting my time when I started from there. Everything I've shared up to this very moment is systematic. One thing leads to the other. So you can't just hop on the 5 video, for example, and then hope to get the best out of it. No, you have to start from day one. So anyway, there's no task for today. Task for today is to go back to all we've been talking about and then implement and do your task, do your assignment. So before we end this call, any questions? Please ask your questions if you have any. I thought someone said he has a question. So please, you ask it now.
I do have a question, but I think you said you're giving us something tomorrow, so I don't need to bother you. But I still need a link, so I should go through from day one.
You need a link.
That link you've not dropped the link yet, so
Which
I
link?
can start from day one. You say you're going to drop me a link.
Have you joined the Telegram group? Good news.
Yes, I've joined it, but there's nothing there.
Oh, okay. I think what I should do, I should edit the settings so that when people join in, they can see previous messages. All right, I'll just edit it and resend the recordings, the replay from previous classes, previous days. So just remind me in case I forget. All right.
Thank you very much. I really benefit from today's class.
All right. Any other question, please? Gucci.
I'm here. I don't have a question yet. But my questions, I'm just piling them. You get
You're
them.
piling it up for me.
Yes.
No problem. So when will you ask it?
I want to actually go through the entire video from the first day. Like when I get what I want, then my questions will keep coming. Like,
All right.
mad.
No problem. Any other person? I want to end this call as soon as possible. Daniel, Zico, Manuela.
No, I'm fine. No question for now.
Chidi. Vanessa, any question?
No question.
Chidi, any question?
No question for me.
All right, now. I can't hear you, Chidi, but no problem. All right, I think that will bring us to the end of today's class. So we'll continue tomorrow, 10 p.m. So let me just stop this recording, ensure that, yeah.